But if you believe in God, believe in Death Row East. We plan to take the same strategy we use with Death Row West, which is mind over matter, taking all our weaknesses and making it to our strengths. We know that we got strength in numbers. We already run the streets out here. So now we just gonna help some of these brothers get their money on because we know they got talent. We got the ways to make them use their talent to the maximum effect. And that's what this is about. Everybody rap. We don't rap. We rap to make money. We do business. Ain't no other record company out there that sold as many records as we did. We outsold Bad Boy, LaFaze, every black record label out there, we outsold them in 1 year. And I'm a convict and my homeboy just got off a murder case. So that tell you that it's pure talent. No hype. We don't got no all-American smiles. They don't even want to buy our record. But
power on. The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Yeah, we haven't technical
West side, we're going to do it to the east side. We're going to prove once and for all that all these people talking about the East Coast, West Coast war, they like the Judas was to Jesus. They only here to cause confusion. We here to bring money and to bring change. They here to cause confusion. All these weak rappers, Nas, all these suckers, they battling off of East and West like this is a game. This ain't no game. If this was chess, we'd be yelling checkmate 3 years ago because we've been beat these. It's not a game. We out here trying to help our people make money. We trying to get out of this 3-stripe circle they got us in and start getting our papers on. So that's what we doing. By stripping numbers, we coming to the East Coast to prove there is no fear, there is no problem, there ain't nothing but opportunity. And the opportunity is overthrow the government y'all got right now, which is Bad Boy and Nas and all that bullshit, and we will bring a new government here that will feed every person in New York.
All right, cool, man. All right, man. Peace. Thanks a lot. Take care. Peace.
Shalom, wise solid speaking. You guys see the title. Peace and wisdom, Andrea Butler, Crystal Jefferson, and Torian Howard. Now I want to begin. Can one of you guys let me know, am I louder than this music? Now let's begin. It's a red handle ones too. You can visit the website wiseservant.org, upscaleknowledge.org. Now, I want to discuss how there was a plan put into play to make rap music a religion. When you're dealing with music, genres of music, it comes and goes. You can use rock and roll as an example. There's really no rock and roll no more. But the gods of rock still exist, if that makes sense to you. We're talking about the legends, Kurt Cobain's, the Janis Joplin's, you know. those that died for rock and roll, you know, the sacrifices. Now, like I said, when it comes to music, of course, it's like a fad, it comes and goes. But when you're dealing with religion, religion never died. So y'all still have the same religions now, or you still have religion now, and you had religion all the way in the beginning of the world. You get my point? Meaning, religion is something that lasts the test of times. And so, when you're dealing with religion, in order for it to truly catch, when I say catched, I mean believed. In order for it to truly be believed, there must be a Christ and a death of that Christ. Now, when I say a Christ, I'm speaking of a sacrifice. That's what a Christ is. X marks the spot type of thing. When you're dealing with the ancient times, so you get my point? Dealing with a time of sacrifice, they will put, you know, the crucifix of the cross or simply the X on the spot that the sacrifice was going to be placed on. The sacrifice was a precious thing, a glorious thing, so to say. Meaning the thing was going to die for the people that was going to eat it. And so when you're talking about lambs, the best lamb is going to be picked. Probably the youngest lamb. We speaking eating. It could be a deer. Whatever man about to kill, sacrifice got to do with cooking meat. You understand? And so whatever man about to kill in terms of sacrifice, which got to do with cooking over the altar being like an ancient stove. So do you follow? You trying to get the thing with no blemish. Who wants to eat a blemished thing? And so when you're dealing with religion, in order for it to catch, there must be a Christ, meaning a sacrifice, and this sacrifice must be killed. And it may catch. I don't want you to think of it like a one thing. And hella people was crucified in the times of Jesus in the making of Christianity. He caught. You get my point? Hella rappers died, Tupac caught. Whatever. Like that. It's a science. You do it, it will catch when it do. And when it do, now you got your religion. And it will last the ages of times. And this can be applied to anything. It's not about religion. Meaning this was applied to religion. But it can be applied to rap or anything. It can be applied to a gang. Just make the gang members popular and then get to chopping them down. You get it? You put all the allegory behind it. If it catches, it catches. Now, in Christianity, you have Jesus. He's the Christ. And then you have his apostles, or his disciples. It's more than 12, but 12 was the focus. Now, out of the 12 disciples or apostles, the most important one was one named Simon Peter. He was the one that cut homeboy's ear off when they tried to pull up on Jesus. Meaning he the big homie. He'll rip you up. Now, when you're dealing with rap, Tupac is Jesus, or the Christ. And you know who they call Simon? Suge. Now, Simon ain't no street name. If I asked any of y'all, let me call you Simon. And you tough, you like, hell no. Why would I want that dumbass name? Who's gonna respect Simon in the street? And so for Suge to go where his name is Simon, you got to grasp it's a deep underlying, it's a message. It don't have nothing to do with a nickname. It's a message. And so if you understand religion and you understand the story of Jesus in the Bible, and the role Simon Peter played, then it's all crystal clear why Suge is called Simon, why Tupac, you know, gave himself all the Jesus references. Remember his last album, he was on a crucifix. And so, when you dealing with Tupac's last album, Machiavelli, so it give you all the references to say this rapper or this character is being displayed as Jesus. God created the world in 7 days. The last album was the 7-day theory. So God created the world in 7 days, and then the Son of God was put on a cross to die for the sins of man. You get it? Tupac's album is called The 7-Day Theory, and he's put on a crucifix on the album. Like I said, rap is being created into a religion. So there has to be a Christ. Otherwise, rap just gonna pass out like a fad. You get my point? And so, this is not an... What do you call that? This is not a metaphoric video. It's literal. Tupac was the Christ, Suge was Simon Peter. Now, if you're familiar with Simon Peter, like I said, he's the most important disciple. Simon Peter's the one that always goes to jail. Suge Knight, aka Simon, this nigga's always going to jail. If you a biblical scholar, you know what I'm talking about. You can go to Acts. Let me do it for y'all. You can go to Acts chapter 12, verse 5 through 7, if you need a reference of how Simon Peter's always going to jail. It says in chapter 5 of Acts chapter 12, verse 5, it says, Peter therefore was kept in prison. Just like that. It started out with him in jail. Always. And so I'm giving you that reference so you can grasp. Suge Knight was not referred to as Simon for no other reason except this had to do with a biblical thing. Now, in order for you guys to truly grasp this, y'all need the accurate perspective of the Jesus story, meaning most people are lost into the religion. This is the talk of man around the book. But if you understand the proper story to the Jesus thing, then you will clearly see like, okay, I see what they did with rap. Don't get lost. Rap is like a religion. Y'all are going on it. Y'all are already... Tupac is already... Y'all waiting for him to come back. You get... Some of y'all say, man, I don't believe in Jesus. Cool, but a lot of people do. You say, I don't believe Pac stupid talk. Well, a lot of people believe he ain't dead and he gonna come back. Period. He God to the... Tupac is God to the young. Y'all can't even... You can't even disrespect Tupac. The rappers be pretending like they like him. I'm older, so I know they don't. I remember back in the day. But to watch, I say, man, this is like Jesus. You gotta watch your... you gotta watch your words when you're speaking about Jesus. Man, you got to watch your words when you're speaking about Tupac. More than Jesus, blood. With the young. Tupac more important than Jesus. Suge Knight, too. Suge Knight is Simon. If you're familiar with religion, there ain't nobody more important than Simon Peter. Except Jesus, of course. If you're familiar with Death Row, ain't nobody more important than Suge. Except Tupac, maybe. Now, let me give you guys the accurate perspective of the Jesus story. First, you have to grasp that the apostles are the 12 disciples. Apostle is the personification of the word opposer. So like, I oppose you. So the 12 apostles are the 12 opposers of Christ, meaning they're always questioning him. They don't fully believe, they don't know. So this is the narrative. And this is why it's 12 of them, because you have 12 jurors. Jurors are the apostles in any case you ever seen. The 12 jurors are like the 12 opposers. They're gonna they're trying to see if this is legit. Like, should this person be imprisoned or should they be let free? If you lost when you're dealing with the Jesus story, he was on trial to be crucified. And had the 12 disciples. Jesus was found guilty, so they killed him. Now, what happens when the decision is wrong? Or if you have like a hung jury, then the person is let go, or they come back. So you gotta grasp, after Jesus was crucified, then the 12 disciples got killed. So that's like to say a hung jury. If you're familiar with the story, the ones we do know how they died, it was by hanging. Hung jury, or hung 12 apostles. Jesus comes back. But none of that is important. The important part is the perspective. Everybody in the story is against Jesus, even Mary. And so when you have the proper understanding of the story, it goes this way. You have these Hebrew people. And Hebrew means immigrant. If you disagree and you say Hebrew doesn't mean immigrant, cool. The Hebrews was immigrants, so that's that. Meaning they ain't had their own land. They was immigrants on other people's lands. Now, Hebrew is just a word that meant that a person was on somebody else's land. Hebrew. These people, they needed a land so that they can be a nation, have a nationality. Now, eventually they become a nation of people called the Jews. If you have any discrepancy as I'm going, you can comment. Now, eventually these people became the Jews. But they're not fully accepted by society. And so a plot was put into place. Like I told y'all, if you understand how religion works and sacrificing a thing for the religions they last forever. These Jewish people they came up with a plan that a boy's gonna be born. He gonna be made great, godly like, and he gonna be killed for the people, so that the religion be real. You get it? Mary was picked for this. I'm not saying anything that isn't written. Y'all just don't read from the right perspective. But if you read it right, it's telling you they already prophesied this. To say they already planned this. If I prophesy something, I'm putting plans in your head. So you know the black people they're gonna have a revolt. It's coming. Some of y'all say, I don't believe that prophecy solid. Some of y'all say I do, but some of y'all gonna make it, you gonna make it real. Like, I felt that on a mature level, so you already know what manipulation is. Meaning prophecy is manipulation. Sound is the creator. It's a deep thing. In any event, Mary was picked to have this boy, already knowing this boy is going to be raised up how he is. You get it? That's why the boy ain't her husband Joseph's seed. It's just a boy that we need you to have for the people. And when he get older, we gonna chop him down. This why Mary fled. This why the 3 wise men came. Where are you going? Like, she's trying to escape. I guess she say, I don't want to do it. I changed my mind. But you can't change your mind on the Lord. Now y'all lost on the phrases like Lord. Lord just mean like the head of the army under the king in the past. You get my point? Pharaohs, kings, lords, gods, these is all titles of rank. And so when it say the Lord came to Mary and told her she was going to have a baby, it ain't talking about no invisible little kid ghost. You get it? This is real life history that's being explained. And so I'm going to give it to y'all from the real history that's recorded. We going through the Bible right now. And so Mary was chosen to have this boy that's going to be chopped down when he reach your age and the whole world knows of him. Of course, he going to get the best school and he going to be a genius. He is for a specific agenda, which is he going to die for the Jewish people. Say, why he got to die for the Jewish people? Because the people of the world ain't accepting this people as a real nation of people. Do you follow? It's like the black people finally come together and we name ourselves and we got a country, but the world's like, them niggas, man, I remember them niggas was in America. Them niggas ain't really like that. So you like, nah, I ain't, you get it? We went through all of this and they don't even respect our bump. So you get it? If you're familiar with the Jewish people, they know Kabbalah, meaning they know the sorcery. It's got to do with the making of religions and things like that, controlling people. And so, Juice, J Nice, you're completely lost, but don't take offense to that. I want to stick to the topic. And so if you know the Jesus story accurately, it have to do with that. Jesus was a sacrifice, like a lamb, brought up to believe he is God, parade around in that manner, made to be famous. See, the 12 disciples, they are making him famous because they are taking this nigga from place to place. He keeps trying to avoid them. It says Jesus went to the wilderness. He went over here, over there, but they keep on following him. The multitude too. Whoever tell you about Jesus, then you looking for him now. You get it? Y'all reading the story from the wrong perspective. He not going along with none of this. He being brought. You get it? Like that. When he met the first disciple, what was it, John the Baptist? And John took him, you get it? On and on and on, from person to person. Now, all the 12 disciples are his brothers. Mary is his sister and his mama. I know a lot of y'all will say, I ain't never heard that. If you read through the text, it say like Andrew was the brother of James and blah, 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 blah. It's to say like, if me and you was brother and sister and we got the same mother and father, but our father got kids out of wedlock, or let's say me and you brother and sister, You got your own father, and I got my own father, but we got the same mama. Now, my father got 2 other kids over here. Those 2 kids is my brother, but they ain't related to you in no way. You get it? They got a different mama and daddy than you, but they my brother, because we got the same daddy. You get it? In that, they not all related, but they are all related. They're all brothers. Meaning they're all attached by either the same daddy or the same mama. Those that have the same mama, so they probably in the same household, raised as brother and sister, and those that might have a daddy the same. So you know how real life is. Some of y'all like that. You got a brother, he got a different daddy, he got 2 different brothers over here somewhere. You call them your brothers too though. But you know, like, well, I mean, my brothers really, they mama, they own mama. And me and my brother ain't got the same daddy, so when you're dealing with that text, it's a lot of things that's not known like that. But they was all brothers. And so they was all envious of Jesus since young, because he's the one being paraded around as the Son of God. And this is all the plan. Like I said in the beginning, they already sat down with Mary. That's why the Lord came to Joseph and let him know, don't stone her. This is an order by high rank. You got to just fall back. She gonna have this boy, he gonna be killed and all of that. So nobody like Jesus. Get it? Not even Joseph. Nobody. Now I'm sure they paid Mary or something to do it, but I'm helping you to grasp the perspective. Now, Jesus is paraded around, made famous, and when the time is perfect, he gonna be slaughtered in front of the world or the people. And from there, your religion gonna start. Meaning the 12 disciples are his brothers and sisters gonna help to make him famous and bring him all around. And then when the time right, they gonna set him up. So when the time was right, Judas, you get it? Brought them to where he was. Now most don't know this, but Simon Peter's truly the one that set him up. Meaning this debate over if Simon Peter lined Jesus up or not. Same way y'all have it with Suge Knight and Tupac. Did Suge set up Pac? Y'all don't know. Now, before I go too far, let me give y'all reference, because I know most of y'all don't read the book. Meaning everybody's a scholar in today's times that never read nothing. And so when I say Simon set up Jesus in the Bible, most of y'all like, no, Simon was the great lawyer. No, they all set him up. Now I'm gonna read John chapter 18 verse 12 through 18, so you could see that clear as day Simon set him up. John chapter 18 verse 12 says, then the band and the captain and officers of the Jews took Jesus and bound him. This is when Jesus is being captured. Keep in mind, Jesus is being captured by the Jews, his own. Then the band and the captain and officers of the Jews took Jesus and bound him, and led him away to Annas first. For he was father-in-law to Caiaphas, which was the high priest that same year. Listen close. Now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. That part. This was already in plan. You niggas taking too long. Again, it say, now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews that it was expedient, meaning this is not a just thing to do, but we in a hurry. It need to be done. You get it? And I thought he was supposed to be a boy. This is a grown-ass man. Y'all have been carrying on with the plan. Now, I'm going to read that one more time. It says, John chapter 18, verse 12. I'm going to read it all again. It says, Then the band and the captain and the officers of the Jews took Jesus and bound him, and led him away to Annas first. For Annas was the father-in-law to Caiaphas, which was the high priest that same year. Now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. And Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple. Meaning after they captured Jesus, they're bringing him to whoever they are. Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple, meaning two of them followed them. That disciple was known unto the high priest, and went in with Jesus into the palace of the high priest. So the two disciples are following them as they have Jesus captured. The one disciple that wasn't named, he knew them, and he went into the palace. Listen. And Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple. That disciple was known unto the high priest, and went in with Jesus into the palace of the high priest. But Peter stood at the door without, meaning they ain't know Peter. Then went out that other disciple, which was known unto the high priest, and he spake unto her that kept the door, and brought Peter in. Meaning, the one that went in, came back out, told Shorty at the door, let him in. He with me. You following? We speaking about Simon Peter. Now, but Peter stood at the door without, then went out that other disciple, which was known unto the high priest, and spake unto her that kept the door, and brought Peter in. Then saith the damsel that kept the door unto Peter, Art not thou also one of this man's disciples? And Peter said, No. You get it? But that's not it. Listen. And the servants and officers stood there, who had made a fire of coals, for it was cold. And they warmed themselves. And Peter stood with them and warmed himself. Again, they set Jesus up. Simon Peter, the main one. Otherwise, you explain to me, after they kidnap Jesus and bring him to the palace, Simon Peter and the other disciple follow. The other disciple goes inside, comes back out, tells Shorty at the door, let my man in. Shorty at the door like, nigga, ain't you, don't you fuck with the Jesus dude? Peter said, no, bitch, move out my way, and went and stood with the officers that captured Jesus. Meaning the niggas that just took Jesus, Peter went and stood with them by the coal of fire, talking about what's going on, big baby. It is cold out here. Now you telling me if you was Jesus, you wouldn't be looking at this nigga like, what the fuck? But Jesus already told him at the Last Supper, before the cock crow 3 times, nigga, your goofy ass gonna sell me out 3 times, nigga. And so that was the first. He told the bitch at the door, I don't know him. And went and stood with the niggas that just took him. He just cut off one of their ear. If you lost, let me read a little more. Now, we're gonna skip down to 25, where Simon Peter is chilling with the dudes warming himself. It says, and Simon Peter stood and warmed himself. They said therefore unto him, Art not thou also one of his disciples? He denied it and said, I am not. One of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off. Remember when they went to subdue Jesus, Simon Peter cut off one of their ears. It says, one of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off. Peter is standing warming himself with the dude ear he just cut off. I don't think y'all grasp how deep this is. Meaning some of y'all need to double back. Read John over. Start with, in the beginning was the Word. Man is Word. And all living things you see is sound manifested into the flesh. A donkey make his sound before you ever seen the physical donkey. So the sound of the donkey was the soul of the donkey. That's why the donkey make that sound. Before you seen a physical man being able to speak word, nothing else on the planet being able to speak word. So man was a word, a soul. That soul being a word, because when it manifests physically, that's what it will speak. A sheep being baa. But when it manifests, that baa soul will make the sound and communicate in that way. So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and it was God. Maybe that's too deep for y'all. Now, let's continue reading though. It says, then Peter, I'm going to read that over. It says, one of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off, saith, did not I see thee in the garden with him? Meaning the person that Peter ear, the person whose ear Peter cut off is now asking him, didn't I just see you? Remember, the shorty at the door say, ain't you with Jesus? Then he pull up. They all ask him like, ain't you with him? Now the dude that got his ear cut off by him like, I know you. Now you got to be wise and know if they all recognize him, but they playing dumb. Talking about, ain't you with, what you mean? Ain't he with him? Y'all just kidnapped him and he followed y'all. Y'all know he with him. Why is everybody playing stupid? Get it? When you read the text, you can't overlook none of that. You say, okay, they're all playing stupid. So Peter must be important. He's speaking Simon Peter. He must be too important for any of them to accuse him directly. So they're tapping all around it. Even this guy, one of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off, saith, did not I see thee in the garden with him? Why do the kinsmen of the high priest got to tip-tap around this nigga? He just got his ear cut off by this nigga. That part. Simon Peter's important. And you better watch your accusations even if you the son of the high priest. So even the son of the high priest who got his ear cut off like, didn't I see you in the garden with him? Nigga, you just kidnapped him. Yeah, you just seen him in the garden with him. Peter's chilling with them. Talking about, nah, that wasn't me, big baby. Let me get some of that fire. It's cold. You follow? Now watch this. Peter then denied again, and immediately the cock crew. Meaning that was the third time he denied Jesus, like Jesus told him he was. Now, I'm going to stop it there. I don't want to make this a whole reading, but that should be enough for some of y'all to grasp. If you know the story accurately, they all set Jesus up. Mainly Simon Peter, meaning he was the last one with Jesus and he made sure, you get it? The same with Suge. Suge was the last one with Tupac. And he's the one where it's questionable. Did he set up Tupac? Now, in all reality, everybody hated Tupac. East Coast and West Coast, just like everybody hated Jesus. Even Mary was in on the plan, because you have to remember, the Lord brought this to her before he was even born and said, you're going to have this boy. He going to be paraded around like he God, and then when the moment right, we going to slaughter him. All of this coming from the book. I don't want y'all to think I'm making up my own narrative. Pick up the book. In the Old Testament, they had a prophesy about the Emmanuel being born. Emmanuel, if you understand your spirit summoning practices, which is where religion come from. Of course, if you read the Bible, Moses and all these niggas is doing sorcery. And the Emmanuel is one of the spirits. It's the manifested Amen. Amen is the sound. The ancient Egyptian god, Amen. Like in the Far East, the Sound is the creator. When the thing manifests, you will know what sound. When you're dealing with man word, when you're dealing with this thing, whatever it speak. You get it? And so when you're dealing with the spirit summoning practices, Amen, and then you got Emmanuel, Amanuel. If you're familiar with the Satanic Church, they end their prayer in Emmanuel, like Amen, you will. They're prophesied in the Old Testament, the word gonna manifest physically. The Satan. Once you get to the flesh, you talking to Satan. You get my point? Like that. They're speaking of the plan to kill this boy that's going to be manifested or born for the people, though. The same way a lamb is killed so the people in the village don't starve and they all eat that lamb, this boy's going to be raised up to a man and slaughtered for the people in that same way. So when you're dealing with the religion, Jesus is a lamb. He's stretched out on the stake. He tells the disciples, this is bread, this my flesh. Drink this wine, this my blood. This all eating references. Meaning Jesus is telling them, y'all gonna eat me. I'm not sure why y'all lost. A Christian believe in that. Eating flesh. They eat crackers at church and drink little glasses of wine. They call that the flesh of God and the blood of God. Voodoo shit, but they a Christian. Meaning this is the satanic world you live in. The oblivious world you live in. A Christian say, I'm gonna wash myself in the blood of the lamb. That's murder. Huh? That part. God gonna die for my sins. You bad, God good. You telling me bad come before good. You telling me great God gonna die for low man. You got to be a mental case. This the world you live in. This is religion. Where the people parade around saying the dumbest blasphemies out their mouth, never considering what they saying. Because the world's saying it. You get it? Everybody say Jesus gonna die for them. To say God gonna die for you is a blasphemy. If God was standing before y'all looking dead in y'all face and you knew that was God, you would never think to play on that. I'm gonna say it again. If God came down right now and was looking y'all dead in y'all face, y'all, not one of y'all would look God in the eye and say, you gonna die for my sins. You know better. You know, like, I'm not even gonna say that. God will strike me down right before, you get it? You would tell no man that to his face. That's just a man. Meaning y'all would not look at a man and tell him, you gonna die for me. He'll strike you down right there. Any man. Threaten his life. That part. You think it won't be worse with God? That part. This is what Christians believe in. This is why when you read the Last Supper, Jesus is trying to explain to them, I know y'all plan, y'all gonna sacrifice me for y'all stupid religion so that the whole world believe y'all a real nationality of people and God come from y'all or some dumb shit. This is also a race or nation of people can be accepted by the world as the true people of God in a time of religions. Now to show you why they pay me the big bucks. Jews worship the Julian king family tree. I'm going to say that again for all black Hebrews or Jews that think they on the right path. The Jews are worshippers of the Julius Caesars. Caesar is a title of kings. You got many Julius Caesars. This is your Roman Republic, your Roman Empire. Julius Caesar is God on earth, nigga, in them times, and you better watch your mouth. If you lost, watch this. We gonna go to John 19 right quick, so you could see who the Jews worship. We gonna go to John 19, verse 12. And from thenceforth Pilate sought to release Jesus. But the Jews cried out, saying, if you let this man go, you are not Caesar's friend, nigga. Whoever maketh himself a king speaketh against Caesar. This the Jews telling Pilate, one of the Roman officers or high-ranking Romans, that if y'all don't kill this man, you ain't no friend of Caesar. That part. The Jew thinks Caesar is God. Now, I'm going to keep reading. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought Jesus forth and sat down in the judgment seat, in a place that is called the pavement, but in Hebrew, Gabbatha. And it was the preparation of the Passover. The Passover is when Jews eat lambs, nigga. Good old flesh. And Jesus was killed at it. For what I said, they ate him. Now, and it was preparation of the Passover in about the 6th hour. And he saith unto the Jews, behold your king, talking about Jesus. But they cried out, away with him, crucify him. This is the Jews. Pilate saith unto them, shall I crucify y'all king? The chief priestess answered, we have no king but Caesar, nigga. Meaning the chief of the Jews told Pilate, that nigga ain't our king. We only got one king. His name is Caesar. And he told him before that, if you don't kill him, nigga, you ain't no friend of Caesar. He's threatening this nigga with Caesar. Again, Caesar's God on earth in them times, and you better watch your mouth. And the Jews want to be accepted by the world as a real nation of people. God coming from them. That part. You got to make sure you read it right. Now, then delivered he him therefore unto them to be crucified. And they took Jesus and led him away. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of the skull, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him on either side, one and Jesus in the midst. And Pilate wrote a title and put it on the cross. And the writing was, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. This title then read many of the Jews, for the place where Jesus was crucified was nigh to the city, and it was written in Hebrew and in Greek and in Latin. Now follow what the Jew nigga gonna do. He say, then said the chief priest of the Jews to Pilate, write not the King of the Jews, but write that he said he the King of the Jews. Now you know why that was important? Because they said Caesar's they king, nigga. Not him. Do you follow? Caesar's God on earth. This nigga said he's Caesar. No, he ain't. That's what they're arguing about. Not invisible God that y'all talking about. They talking about Julius Caesar. In the Julius Caesar family tree, or your Julius Caesar dynasty. This is all your kings over the times, going from damn near Greek to Roman, to Ottoman, to Turkish. Like that. This is real history. And so I read that so y'all could grasp. The Jews, they worship Caesar like everybody else in them times. Julius Caesar. And so a Jew just mean that. A follower of the Julie. You can Google Julii Caesars. The Julie Caesars. So you can see it's a Julio-Claudian dynasty. Real history. This don't got nothing to do with I'm making up a story. I'm giving y'all real history. You got your Julio-Claudian dynasty. Julius Caesar is a part of it. You got many Julius Caesars after him. Now watch this. The Jews are a people that's a part of the Julius Caesar line, so to say. Now watch how I prove it to you. I want you to Google Tiberius, son of Heraclius, from 600 AD times. And it's going to pop up that his name is King David. His royal name, Tiberius. Again. King David, the son of Heraclius, was a Caesar over the Byzantine Empire. This is your Eastern Rome Empire. When Western Rome fell, then your Byzantine empires kind of took over. King David from them times. Do you follow? Again, look it up. Tiberius, Tiberius, son of Heraclius, Heraclius. Tiberius, son of Heraclius. Or you can just Google King David, son of Heraclius, from the Byzantine Empire. That way you can see for yourself. The King David from the Bible is talking about the Julius Caesar line when they get to the Byzantine times. The Bible got to do with real history of white people conquering, of white people colonizing other places in the world that y'all know of. That part. If you a black Jew in the day, you worship white people. Preferably the Julius Caesars. That's what a Jew is. A Julius Caesar worshiper. A Julius Caesar is Jesus Christ. They all killed that nigga so that the Roman Empire. This go deep. You're gonna have to get a one-on-one on this history. And we can go through all the Wikipedias and encyclopedias. Because that's how I do my... I'm old school. I know nothing about watching niggas on YouTube run their mouth. I'm get straight to the works. It's top level scholarship. And so you can get a one-on-one if you want to know the Julius Caesar line. Because most of y'all don't even know Julius Caesar or your Julie dynasty. Most of y'all don't even know nothing about that. You get it? And y'all know a lot of stuff, but it ain't got nothing to do with accurate history. That part. And so I'm positive on what I'm saying, if you lost. What I'm saying got to do with actual history you could look up. And the names is there from the Bible. Again, King David is his birth name. But his royal name after coming into the throne, he went by Tiberius. Basically to say the politically correct name. Now y'all got the original names in the Bible. The olden names. You get it? Like that. And so, The Jews is not what y'all think. The Jews just got to do with a people, of course, their area. Like I always tell y'all, every place on the earth before it's civilized by colonizers. Just a rainforest, a wilderness with your indigenous people running around on it. And when your colonizers come and mix breed in with them and domesticate them out, mix breed them with other slaves, they got things like that. Then these become your citizens or your people of that area. Think like America. Your colonizers came over to North America, let's say the Dutch or English, and they mixed in with the indigenous people here. Now here we are speaking fucking English. You get it? And we citizens of this place, even though we was here already. You follow? The Jews like that in the past. They a new civilized race of people that their area was colonized by white people from the north. Like I told y'all in the previous video, Israelites ain't nothing but motherfucking Israelis back in the time when that area first got colonized. And them indigenous people now they half-breeded and they civilians of that place or citizens of that place. You get it? Like that. The Jews, they like your Russians that colonized that area long ago. And you get it? Mixed breeded in with those indigenous people there. And now you got a race of people that they call Jew. If I ask y'all what is an Ashkenazi Jew, he a Russian. You can play with yourself all you want. Got the peyote, he got the sideburns, he got the goat shit going. You get it? The goat teeth, the goat horns, or the goat sideburns, he got the goat shit going. That part. He a Jew, right? It's got to do with that. Them people colonizing over in the Middle East area. You get my point? That's why a Jew, an Ashkenazi Jew, he could pass for an Arab, an Arab. You get it? Like that. And so the Jews are people now that, you know, their area have been colonized, but they not being accepted as a real race of people in perspective. And so you get it? They orchestrated the plan to make their people religion. The same way I say, like, they decided to make rap a religion with the old sorcery. All you got to do is find somebody to kill. Again, it won't make rap a religion with the sorcery being sacrifice, killing. You'll find a victim. And let's get this show on the road, big baby. And so do you get it? When you're dealing with the Bible, it go way deeper than y'all grasp. The story go way deeper than y'all grasp, meaning God ain't no man that walked earth, but a person was killed to serve that purpose. I ain't saying one man was crucified, but I'm just saying over a period of time, hella motherfuckers was crucified, and the one y'all know of is the one that caught. But if you look up in history, I'm sure you're gonna find thousands of people was crucified during the times of Jesus. Him just being one of many. That part. He caught. Which is all they need. And just like in rap, a bunch of rappers die, but like, so Tupac caught. And let's get this show going, big baby. And so it's an ancient sorcery, Kabbalah knowledge. Now, let's get into the deep stuff. I didn't even start the video yet. I was just giving y'all the proper perspective so that y'all can grasp how Tupac and Suge Knight is Jesus and Simon. Of course, this is to make rap a religion. So now, if any of you guys want to give back, this is the time to do that. While I take a quick restroom break. And then we can get to the meat and potatoes from there on. And make sure y'all get that. This is that shit, you hear me? Alright, I'm back. Hopefully thousands of dollars was, hopefully thousands was given, because I don't want to curse nobody out today. Those pieces from yesterday. Oh no, it ain't. Y'all lucky. Woo, y'all lucky. No, I'm just playing. But give back if you don't mind, please. This is $1 Million Scholarship. It's not the kid stuff that you kind of watch on YouTube. 41 years old, grown man. This my business. Can't nobody do what I do. You get it? Meaning, I shift through the papers. Man don't read no more, he watch TV. I shift through the papers. I do the hard work. So you don't have to. Now I'm taking a quick lunch break to give you all a time to give back before I get into this deep music business part and what they did. Cause Pac and Suge ain't do this. They got caught up in this. Like the rest of the rappers gonna get caught up in whatever they get caught up into. Rap is just a movie and they all put into a character and role, but they don't know the role and character and the end of the character. Michael Jackson just a role in the character, reality TV, but he don't know the end of this character. That it's going to die over an overdose or be promoted that way. And he going to serve as... They was hoping that shit worked with Michael. They was hoping that worked with Mike. But Mike didn't cut it. They said, damn, I don't know how Mike didn't work. We raised him up from a boy. Meaning Mike was... This is all real. Mike was supposed to get killed in horrible fashion, but MC Hammer niggas came out, fucked up his bump a little bit. You get it? They're like, damn, this little Hammer motherfucker. Man. I put the curses and things in there to make it real. We gotta be real life, unless you won't feel it right. Like, I could do it without the curses, but I don't like to do it like that. Man ugly, so you gotta see his ugly nature. Like, I want y'all to be like y'all was there. So this how people talk when nobody around. They like, God damn, that Michael Jackson motherfucker didn't work out, huh? What interfered with him being the Christ over music? You feel me? Why he ain't work? MC Hammer came out. Blood had cool ass pants. All the kids and they going crazy on this weird shit. So it messed up their plans. That's why they fucked him over. You fucking freak. You fucked up our sacrifice, nigga. So you gonna always have, everything ain't gonna go as planned. So they say, damn, we need another one. Maybe Whitney will work. Cause she the closest thing to Mike, but that shit ain't work either. These people different in the daytimes. They ain't biting. Pop catch it on though. You get it? Meaning, many are sacrificed. I'm sure they have their preference. Why him? Like, oh. And of course, Mike Jackson, Whitney, all these people died after, but Pac ain't Jesus yet. Almost. And I'm sure you got people like, damn, why him? We was hoping it was Mike, not him. A lot of y'all think this is, y'all don't get it. Let me explain in depth. Sound is substance. Meaning sound is air, breath. Airs come together, this is how you get substances. Meaning hydrogen, air, and oxygen, air merge. And you get water. In science, 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 oxygen atom. All you got in oxygen air is oxygen atoms. All you got in hydrogen air is hydrogen atoms. Same with nitrogen. You know, these gases that y'all know of, these airs. And I know y'all learn how y'all learn in science now. See the difference when you learn it in real life. When your hot ass breath hit the cool outer air, you can make a window wet. And this is alchemy. You get it? Breathe your hot breath on your hand and watch how sweaty it slowly gets. Breathe your hot, warm breath on glass and see how you can right through the water you put on it. That part. They don't teach y'all like that in school. I guess because common man ain't got the big bucks, nigga. It's for the divine only. That's motherfuckers with the big bucks. Live in a shallow world. Be thankful if you poor in this moment. You never have this. It's a million niggas want to kill me right now. So this motherfucker's telling all the secrets, man. Y'all don't act on it, so ain't no problem as of yet. You niggas start grasping. That's why I got to get mine early. Yeah, make sure you give back now, you hear? Now, like I said, sound, which is airs, is substance. When you riddle words together, this is like bringing different airs. And so y'all hear these sounds, they go into y'all ear and into y'all mind space and manifest as substances. Some of these substances is toxic, some of these substances is medicinal. It all depends on the sounds. You get my point? And that's the only way you're going to get substances is from airs, merging. Look at the vowel sounds. I, E, I, O, This is your 5 sounds. You merge them together however you choose. You get my point? Rearrange the order however. Like that. And this is creating language. I'm going to take that language and now riddle it, and it will make the mind get drunk. Intoxicated. Y'all remember riddle, because the mind get intoxicated on the riddle. London Bridge is falling down, you can't get it out your head. But when your mama told you to take the trash out, nigga, that won't stay in it. Every night she gotta tell you the same shit over and over. Nigga, take out the garbage. That part. But London Bridge is falling down. If your mama rhymed to take out the trash, you'd never forget. You get it? So men learn the alchemy and riddle or sound. And make men drunk and dumb. Like an alcoholic. He can become addicted. And so this is how rap work. Sound alchemy. But before you got to rap, which was the riddle, the alchemy, you had rock and roll, and this was the test, experiment, to see like, can you get the people drunk on sounds and control them? And so, rock and roll was that experiment. Of course, you had Janis Joplin and all these people I named that died, you know, for rock and roll. Most of them overdosed. But many people died. Rock and roll was the biggest thing. It was almost a religion. You had Marilyn Manson and people killing motherfuckers because they was LSD'd up listening to rock and roll. You get it? Especially heavy metal. Heavy metal messed it up. Rock and roll was on a good accord as being the new, it was going to be the new religion. Meaning you got religion and religion lasts the test of time. But this can be applied to anything. Religion ain't nothing but rumors, lies, belief. You only got to believe a nigga if he telling you a lie. Otherwise, why would a nigga be like, believe me? Blood, you know that shit I just told you is the truth. It don't got nothing to do with believe. Believe got to do when I'm telling you something and you ain't got no proof to go with. So you like, all right, I'm going to trust you, I guess. I'm going to believe you. So y'all got the belief system. that that's truth. A Christian will tell you, I believe in Jesus. You'll tell them that's a lie. They will tell you, no, it ain't. Motherfucker, how you jump from just a belief to a proven fact, you freak? And this is what it's like talking to a Christian. I'll say that again the nice way, because some of y'all think it really would matter, and it wouldn't. A Christian will tell you they are a believer in Jesus. Believe mean you don't have no proof, so you don't know it's true yet. They're still waiting on the confirmation. But if you say to that same Christian, that's a lie, they'll tell you, no, it's not. How would you know? You didn't get the proof yet. Jesus didn't come back yet. How did you jump from a maybe belief to now arguing with me if it's the truth or a lie? It wasn't proven truth yet. Because they're a liar. They have a belief system which is a lie system, so they will lie and say anything at any moment, because that's what the religion is. It's not a truth system, it's a belief system. And so, can you see how lost the world is? You got to tell a person in the day, you do know belief fall into the category of lie, right? The lie is in the spelling. They still don't get it. I had to tell them, truth is a lady named Ruth. They gotta make it simple for them. The truth is Ruth. And belief is Belial, you freak. Belial is the old god of belief. That's where lies start, with Belial. Belial. This is good old Baal. You know, Bel and a dragon. Bel and Eve. Believe. It's a deep thing, y'all don't grasp. But it all starts with Bel. He's the devil. I'm lying? Bel ain't the devil? That part. Y'all worship Baal. 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 You know, like Bel and the dragon. So you have a belief system in honor of Belial. You know, good old Baal. And so, kind of grasp, this goes really deep. Now, rock and roll was an experiment. And it worked so good, they said, we gonna do this with riddle. So let's scrap this old version we got and do the new version, which is rock and roll with riddle. We're gonna call it hip hop, kind of like rock and roll, hip hop. Some of y'all lost. There's a song with Run DMC called Walk This Way, Talk This Way. This is when rock and roll let the world know we're giving. Rock and roll is now rap. We're done. This thing's gonna take over in the place of rock. We're done. I'ma say it again. If you're familiar with music, there's a song that Run DMC made. Run DMC is your early rappers, early beginners. You get it? You could say it started with them. You do have people before them, but if you're talking about rap catching, well, it started with them. You know? Run DMC. They gods of rap. They did a song called Walk This Way. It was a rock song. This is when rock and roll let the world know we passed the torch over to hip hop and we done. Ain't gonna be no more rock and roll from this moment forth, but you gonna have hip hop, which is rock and roll seed. And all these rappers or hip hoppers are gonna tell you they rock stars. And they gonna do yayo and all kind of shit, nigga. And it's the new rock and roll, blood. In the same way rock and roll was an experiment on the people, a sound alchemy to see if you can control them and steer them this way or that way. Because all them little white kids was committing suicide listening to rock and roll. You get it? They was using LSD listening to rock and roll, Marilyn Manson too. And you get it? I'm sorry, Charles Manson. Him too. Marilyn Manson too, probably. But you get my point? And they was getting brainwashed under the music like as if the music was a religion. So they say we're going to do this with hip-hop. Remember how the Hebrews did with their little Jewish religion back in the day? When they found that good old sacrifice to kill and they caught like God? Let's do that with this rap stuff. Easy-E kicks the bucket. Hella niggas start kicking the bucket. Get it? Trying to get it to catch. Y'all loved Easy-E. I say, God damn, Easy didn't work. I thought he would, but shit. Keep trying. Then you get to the times of Suge Knight and a young man named Tupac. Suge Knight's important. This nigga's like Simon Peter. You don't make no accusations against Big Suge, aka Simon. Wouldn't give a fuck how high your rank is. He the one you play dumb with, like, wasn't you in the car with Tupac? I'm not saying you did anything, I'm just asking. He's the dude you do that with, when you play stupid, cause you like, I don't want to get hands put on me. I'm giving you that reference from when I read that little Bible verse, where they was all tip-tapping around Peter, talking about, wasn't you one of Jesus' disciples, acting like they stupid? This man famous been getting dragged all around with his disciples. Y'all know who? In fact, this disciple was just with him when y'all kidnapped him. If you missed the beginning of this video, rewind it back. I read some scholarship straight from the Bible. And so Suge is like that guy. Tupac, he's Tupac. He's like Jesus. Innocent lamb being prepared for the sacrifice. Now, I'm not saying this is Tupac's playing or Suge's. I'm saying they're in a music business ran by the government. The government, they set the scenario, the scene, and everybody just plays their part, unknowing that they're in a movie and this is Hollywood. All the music or record companies, they're movie studios. Sony Music is Sony Movies. Warner Brother Music is Warner Brother Movies. You get it? Now, I don't care if you talking about the little low-ranking bootleg. You get it? Bad Boy, all these record companies, y'all know they sign the big boys. And these big boys is movie production companies. Again, Sony is a movie thing. And this is when rap start having music videos, you know, little movies with weird ass symbology in it. The rapper don't know who put this shit together. He just come and show up and do his rhyme. Then y'all be like, nigga, you had a Baphomet head in the back. That ain't his house and that ain't his set. He just showed up. He don't know what's going on. He just a dumb nigga in a movie playing a part, not knowing, does this character that I'm playing die at the end? So this is like Pac. He's playing a movie. He's playing a whole reality TV show before y'all knew of reality TV show. And they set the scenario and whoever's there, they just walk into it. It's like if I tell you, listen, we gonna have a party. We gonna invite 14-year-olds and 16-year-olds. And then a bunch of old ass niggas, and we gonna have a whole bunch of drugs and liquor there. So y'all all know what's gonna happen. Young girls gonna get raped. Nobody have to be a genius to figure that scenario out. You say, man, if you do that, that's for surely gonna happen. Maybe not to all of them, but at least 8, 9 of them gonna definitely get raped. It's gonna be booze and older men there. These young girls gonna be drunk in the house with older men. That part. They set the scenario. You get it? People gonna walk into their part. So You could look at it like everybody just fell into the government's plan. Meaning Suge, Tupac getting the idea of Machiavelli and all the things that was put together, and him calling Suge Simon, and no one truly knowing, like, why your name Simon, blood? I knew, you got niggas that grew up with Suge, they're like, I knew this nigga his whole life. Nobody ever called him Simon. Where that even came from? What the fuck is a Simon? Simon Peter from the Bible. The nigga that locked up Jesus. Suge is the one that lined up Pac. Do you follow? It have to match the religion. It have to all be perfect, like the religion. Death Row ain't got ties with the government in them times. That part. Simon Peter didn't help them set up Jesus. Didn't they lock his ass up? Did Suge not get locked the fuck up right after they crucified Pac? That part. It's the disciples all confused talking about, I don't know if Jesus is dead or not, blood. I think I seen him. Is Suge Knight, his son, and all these weird niggas from Death Row, they confused on if Pac is dead or not? In real time, they don't know. Like, shit, ain't nobody seen this nigga dead. Like that, nobody knows. If you somebody lost into the Pac story, that's the story. No one don't know. Cause ain't no one seen him dead. Like, I went to his funeral, I seen his body, or I seen this nigga in the morgue. Like, nobody seen him like that. They just seen him like anybody would look when they get shot up with tubes in them. I had tubes in me when I got shot and stabbed, but that don't mean you dying. But I'm sure when my people walked in, they like, oh yeah, you know, you be asleep, they drug you up. So I'm sure whoever came to see me when I got stabbed and shot and they walked in when I was asleep, I'm sure they said the same thing. Yeah, blood looked like he about to clock out. I lost hella blood, so I was slim as shit. You get it? But I wasn't gonna die. The doctors already told me, you good to go, nigga. Might be a little handicap and shit. Like that. Nobody seen Pac die. Not even Suge. He just know, like, he don't know. That part. Now, I'm not saying Suge. How can I put it? If Suge convinced Pac he should do this Machiavelli thing and he should be Simon, then you get it? It's a Suge thing. If Pac is the one that brought that to Suge, let's say Suge watching, then Suge should know definitely how he got played by Pac and the government. Meaning whoever did it, they was working with the government. It's either Suge or Pac. You get it? Meaning either Suge told Pac some kind of way, you should be Machiavelli and I can be Simon. Not exposing the whole plan, but just like, this is going to be your name. Kind of like Pac named the Outlaws and said, you going to be Gaddafi and you going to be this and that. And they don't really know, like, why did he do that, but he did it, and so that's that. Like that. If Pac brought that to Suge, then that means Pac was working with the government. And Pac like Jesus. Remember I said Jesus was being lined up his whole life to get crucified. But he knew. They didn't know Jesus knew. You get it? So when Jesus is at the Last Supper explaining to them, take this bread, this is like my flesh, and drink this wine, it's like my blood. They don't understand he telling them like, I know y'all plan. Y'all basically been doing all y'all been doing so y'all could crucify me. You get it? Kill me off. Like some holy thing. The disciples don't know he in on the plan. So they like lost. You get it? You got a plan where I'm going to be raised up since before my birth and believing that I'm God and I'm going to die for the people because it was written. I was raised like this. I believe this. And you're in on the plan. You bringing me around, making me famous. But then I come to realize what y'all doing. They trying to make me famous. They gonna kill me. They not my friends. Now when I'm telling you, damn, I'ma die for the sins of man, like, cause I get it now, like, man, this bread is like my flesh, and this wine is like my blood, and y'all gonna eat me at the Passover. And they don't get it. They like thinking that like he's re-prophesying, like he's brainwashed, like everything's right on track. He believes he the son of God. He gonna get sacrificed for the people. When they don't get, he telling them, I know the plan, you dumb fuck. Why y'all doing this to me? So they're denying. Like, no. Meaning when he say, his bread is like my flesh, his wine like my blood, y'all gonna eat me. You gonna betray me 3 times, nigga. He's telling them what they're doing. You gonna betray me. You gonna betray me. Y'all gonna eat me, drink my blood. Basically do me like a lamb. They're like, no, we not. They don't know he know already. So in that, they're denying it to go along with the thing. Like, no, we not. Like that. Meaning when Jesus is telling Simon Peter, you gonna betray me, and telling Judas, you gonna betray me, they're denying it because they don't know he's telling us that he already know what is already written. You get it? You gonna go get them coins. That's already established. And I'm gonna be with him in the garden. I'm gonna cut the nigga ear off, make it look real good. But I'm gonna follow him back to the palace and make sure they do away with this nigga. Because it was written. And it's all happening for the Jewish people so we can be accepted as the holy people of God, nigga, in the world. You follow? We the important race. God come from us. Don't matter if we sacrifice that nigga and it's all a lie. Meaning somebody was killed in real life to make Judaism or the religion y'all have catch like how y'all believe it. Like that. Was that person God? No. Just a sheep. Somebody raised up to believe whatever they was raised to believe. Them catching wind of it. If you're familiar with the Jesus story, like he's trying to get away from them. He ran to the wilderness where nobody would follow him. The devil did. The hunger. You say, nigga, why don't you turn them stones into bread, big baby? Be God. The hunger. And see, this all started with Cain and Abel. Cain, the first man to eat man. His brother. Cain Abel. Cannibal. Cain Abel. The story of how man started eating man. And Cain is the father of all cannibals. Or Canaanites. And those that eat flesh. Say, why did Cain kill his brother? To feed the hunger. God lived in man, called the hunger, the beast, meaning the devil, the beast. This is God over the world. In layman's term, he's known as the hunger. And man will pay his tithes, meaning man will sacrifice life to pay tithes to God, which is the hunger. And if man don't pay his tithes to the hunger will eat on him. That's why in Revelations it say the whole world will be lost in following the beast. Y'all think y'all God something else. Y'all God is the hunger. That's all it was talking about in the Bible. When Abel paid his tithes to the Lord, Abel was shepherd, so that means he eat lamb chops, nigga. He got access to sheep. He a meat eater. And so when he eat them sheep, whew, the Lord is pleased. And Cain is a farmer, and all he got is vegetables. And so when he pay his tithes to the Lord, which is his belly, the Lord is displeased. Get that fucking vegan shit out of here, man. We want lamb chops, flesh. So the Lord ain't pleased with Cain. Do you follow? Now this carry over to the priest over the city. They are like, the king is like God or the hunger, and the priests being his representatives. And so in the past, you had to pay your tithes to the Lord. Meaning, the same way y'all pay taxes to the city, in the past, well, you didn't have like coins and paper and all of that. And so if you was a shepherd, you had to pay from your works. You a farmer, you have to pay your tithes from your, basically the same thing y'all live now, y'all just call it taxes. And so it's the same with the priesthood. When Abel and Cain is bringing their tithes to the physical representations of the hunger, which is the city officials, they more pleased with Abel's gift than Cain's, because everybody like lamb chops instead of broccoli. The God in the Bible is the hunger that follows man around. Do you follow? When man eat, that's physical life he eating, whether you talking plant life or animal life. When man get a desire, which is an extension of that hunger, and he want clothes and shit, that's either the animal life or the plant life that's being slaughtered, so he have that. When he gets sexual desires, which is an extension of that hunger, and he busting a nut, that is spirit from himself. You follow? And then that white Holy Ghost gonna go into that woman's womb, get sacrificed before that egg cell. That's the precursor to the body. It's gonna get trapped in that little precursor body, and that body gonna evolve into a whole prison, and that soul gonna be physically born into death. And the moment a baby born is the moment he dead. Before then, what, the baby wasn't alive to die. What was life and death? These two things being the same. Before birth, before ejaculation, what's life and death to the Holy Ghost? Meaning that substance that a man ejaculate out, that's Osiris. Or the YHWH, that's you. That's why in the Bible they never use you. Y-O-U, they say ye. They talk like weirdos that's lost in Hansel and Gretel, lost in Romeo and Juliet tongue. That part. In the past you can't say you, because that's God. YHWH, meaning vowels is sounds. You don't use vowels in the past. That part. And you never say you. That's God. That's why Jesus referred to as the Holy Ghost. He say, come into my yoke. It's talking about that substance. It's all yokey and gooey, and it's the spirit of life. Meaning you won't have no living souls walking around if not for that substance. And that substance is God manifested, or the Word. Why? Because you put that substance into an egg cell, it will be born, it will reach an age and start talking word. Then you know, oh shit, that substance was word. You take the substance of a goat, the seminal fluid of a goat, put it inside of its egg cell. It will be born out, it will go to a certain point, it will start to make the sounds goats make. Then you know, oh yeah, sound is the creator. Sound is substance. Every living thing you ever seen started as a substance. Even you. And you as a substance is God, nigga. We all one in that substance. I look like white yolky fluid when I first came out my daddy, or from the Father. You too. You follow? You came from your father. I came from mine. So Jesus always say, I come from the Father. Do you follow? It's not talking about when we in the flesh of the Satan. It's speaking of the substance. You follow? And so the character in the Bible ain't got nothing to do with that knowledge. The character in the Bible is exploiting that character. If you were a woman, you started off as white substance coming out your daddy's balls. You came from the Father. All souls came from the Father. Say what Father? Whatever Father they came from. That Father being a representation of the true Father that the substance come from. Man is the substance wrapped in flesh, still able to, you get it? Ejaculate out the substance, but what the substance is truly coming from is unseen space, like the mind, and like the dark unconsciousness, and how the awareness just springs from it. Meaning y'all wake up from y'all unconsciousness, or the abyss, death, and say, I seen Satan or Lucifer falling like lightning. Ejaculation. I seen the most high, most proud fall like lightning and became substance. That's why it says Lucifer was proud. He wanted to raise his throne above God and above the heavens. And that's no problem, child. You can be greater than God. But you gotta start from the pits of hell, nigga. Do you get it? And so, y'all all started from y'all father's sack. Now you look eye to eye with your daddy, but do you get it? You raise your throne above God, but you gotta go through what you gotta go through to get there. Y'all don't understand the story, right? Y'all lost into the religion, where this fake character that's really a woman is being sacrificed for a group of people, so to say. If you lost, Jesus is Isis. Jesus silent. Isis. If you a Christian, you worship ancient Egyptian religion. A conscious community person and a Christian don't have no disagreements. So why they debate, I don't know. They got the same religion. The old school version and the new school version, which is the same. And so Jesus is Isis. You get it? Isis, well, y'all know who she is. God of the physical world. Isis is the exile, the savior. And anybody want to go to physical life got to go through Isis. She is the portal, nigga. It ain't nobody more important than Isis except for Osiris. And he's the Holy Ghost, nigga, that goes into Isis. That's his Kaaba. You follow? The XL is Isis, Osiris is the great substance. The indestructible. You can't do nothing to Semen. That part. What you gonna punch it? Break it? It's yoki. It come back together. Most of y'all don't know Semen. You get it? A scientist watching, they know Semen. They like, yeah, that shit's weird. Meaning Semen is the weirdest thing on the planet. Like I told y'all in the previous video, it's awareness. It can see and hear y'all when it manifests out. If not, then how does a baby see, hear, smell? All that lie with the substance, the semen. The exhale, the menstrual substance, that's the body. It don't do nothing. The spirit or the soul sees, hears, you get it? Feels. That's that substance that come out of man's balls. That's why the nigga be like, oh shit. He is ejaculating out awareness. Y'all laughing. I think this is a joke. This that deep knowledge. Can I get some more give backs, please? I'm trying to hit 1,000. All my videos is worth that much. And it's enough of y'all in here to make that possible. And so that's why man has that sensation when he ejaculates. Because that feels so good. Like the death of God feels so good, my nigga. Ah! This is all truth. I'm just telling you. That's why Jesus say, come into my yoke. It feels good here. Jesus coming from orgasm. Meaning real Jesus is the divine substance. That's coming from orgasm. Orgasm is heaven. That's nirvana. That's the place of bliss. That's the place of awe. If you slow down orgasm 1,000%, that's the place where you just stand in awe of God. And you just witness. And that's what a man doing when he ejaculate for a flash of a second. He just stuck in limbo witnessing the glory, life manifesting. And so like I said, that substance come from orgasm. Orgasm is heaven. When a man come, he bring heaven. You get it? But man can go. That's secret knowledge, but when y'all orgasm, y'all can orgasm in reverse instead of the coming, it can be the going. You get it? If something could come, it could go. Remember, semen ain't coming out of man's, it's coming out of man's dick, but it ain't just there before the moment of ejaculation. It manifests out the prostate, but you get it? The prostate being like the Rosetta Stone. Not the Rosetta Stone. The prostate's the third eye, but what is it called? It's a deep thing. That's deep knowledge, but Jesus is that. Let me get back to the point of the video, which is Tupac and Suge. And so when you're dealing with rap, during those times, rap, it could have just went out as a fad. Pac was sacrificed, meaning this was all planned perfectly according to biblical philosophy and how you make religions catch with the sacrificing of, you get it, a person. God don't die, so you can get that out your head. And Jesus in the Bible, that's just the history of man getting his ass crucified so they can get one to catch. All that being a blasphemy against God, which is Osiris, or the YHWH. And this is that yoki substance that come out of man's dick. That's the everlasting. Period. You wouldn't see nobody if it wasn't for that. You get it? The physical body, that's the egg cell. That's the world. And so the YHWH was sacrificed into the world like that. Not like how y'all made up story is, which got to do with men eating men. Meaning in real life, a man was crucified like he was supposed to be God. Well, not like he was supposed to be God, but he was crucified and labeled as a God. After that, they ate him on the Passover. That's why they couldn't find Jesus' body the next day. That shit was dinner. That's why Jesus gave the references. Like, this is my bread, this is blah, blah. This is like my flesh, this is like my blood. That's all in reference to what they was going to do on the Passover, which is eating. Man eat man. Back in them times, like I said, this all started with Cain and Abel. So, you had the hunger. Cain fed Abel to the hunger. The hunger is the unconsciousness, the abyss. It swallows the awareness that you are every night. And the hunger you feel is an extension of that great beast of death. We talking about the swallower of consciousness. Nigga, we talking about Amit from ancient Egypt. It eats your heart. That's your soul, nigga. You lost? Think of your unconsciousness, your abyss. Swallow your light every night. Like you see the sun setting. That part. When you know the scholarship right, it's cold-blooded. And so when they say Amit will eat your heart, y'all have no clue what that means. It mean unconsciousness will swallow your ass up and you won't never be again. You see how you don't know you even exist when you went unconscious? You don't even know you got kids, a baby in the next room? Like that. They'll make it like that forever for you. That's the hunger. Amit is the god of it. And all he do is eat. And so soon as you niggas eat, then y'all hungry again. That's Amit. You feed him or he eats you. And so when y'all don't eat, then y'all start getting sick. Meaning y'all start feeling like y'all getting eaten. And y'all lie. Until y'all turn to a stick and die. Shit real. Salam, shalom, Andrea Butler. And so, Grass, when you know the religions and all these things accurately, y'all worship satanic things, blasphemies. And so, I want to be clear, they ate Jesus, that character, that man, but that wasn't about nothing, except making them Jewish people a nation, an established nation. Like I said, they worship Julius Caesar and the Julius Caesar line. And so this thing goes deep. But that's just that. That don't got nothing to do with the real divine wisdom. That character in that book and all that's exploiting. The divine knowledge is what I just gave you with real life. And so Christianity just knew ancient Egypt. But Tupac was made to be the Christ for rap. Suge Knight, he played Simon, head disciple, head follower of Pac. Suge believed in Pac. You get it? Head follower. He got him out of jail, nobody else. So nobody else can claim to be the follower of Pac more than him. And he put him in position and did all he did because he believed in him. He's also the last disciple that was with Pac in the car. Just like Simon Peter was the last disciple with Jesus when he cut the ear off the dude that, grabbed hold of him. Like that. All of that is perfectly planned out like that for a reason. And so if Pac and the government made the plan, which that's more than likely the case, then Pac out of here. Then the joke's on Suge and the rest of you niggas. And now Pac is God of rap. And rap is a religion. In today's time, still growing. Meaning 10, 20 years from now ain't gonna be no Christianity, Islam, or none of that. It's gonna be rap. Rap gonna be like, God, it's already God. These little niggas listen to rap and they kill each other. They know nothing about religion. In the daytime, they know rap. We know religion. People from my times and before. If you ask a young person in the day anything about, tell them to read one verse out the Bible, they don't know none of them. Say, read one verse by heart that you just already know in your head. They don't know nothing. They know songs. They worship music, nigga. Preferably rap. And if you ask them who is the most important person in rap, they gonna tell you Tupac. And they gonna tell you he ain't dead. And they gonna tell you he coming back. When? Well, this is like having a conversation with a Christian, so this is when you just pull out your knife and bust your vein. Kill yourself. That's way better to kill yourself than to have a conversation with a Christian. That's high blood pressure right there. It's a whole headache right there. They believe in make-believe. They believe in the devil, but that's a whole nother story. And so, yeah. Now, where was I? Oh, ain't too much, big baby. There you go, Andrea Butler. Trill Chris said, Lil Uzi Vert new age rap. Yeah, I don't think y'all grasping this video. Y'all kind of throw. The new generation, y'all have a natural. Y'all are depressed naturally, if that makes sense. The way y'all walk around reveals it. When a person is depressed and sad, they tend to not do their hair, wear sweatpants, spandex, and you get it, slippers. They don't feel like being involved with the world. This is how y'all naturally come out. It's y'all style, but it reflects a lot of the nature of self. Meaning, in that, I know y'all are crushed inside this generation. They're starting too young. They moping around in sweatpants and spandex and slippers and don't even do their hair. You say, no, that's just the style. Yeah, that's only the style when you emotionally beat down. You get it? That's the only way you would go with that style. Then when you understand weight, you understand if the physical vessel is heavy, so the emotional state gonna be heavy. And the mind gonna be heavy because that's how that all happened. Then when you look at y'all weight, understanding the thing called the microwave, then it all becomes clear. Meaning y'all all fat because of this thing called the microwave, but I don't think y'all ready to understand that. And all the food that y'all know, it was made to be catered to this microwave thing. When I was growing up, rice was rice. You couldn't cook that shit in the microwave, and that's that. And over time, they start making all the food where you could cook it over the stove like old times or throw it in the microwave. You could boil rice now in the microwave. And you get my point? Y'all eat that. Meaning y'all eat microwave food and y'all cook using the microwave. That's not enough, and that's not real fire yet. You don't know what that is. That's sorcery, high-tech science. It has more of an effect than y'all think. Meaning this ain't got nothing to do with weight. That should have an effect on y'all emotional state and y'all brain. But more than that, the brain and the emotional state gonna manifest out physically. And so if you truly like somebody struggling with weight, you might want to just like reach out and get a one-on-one. You would have been slim already, or where you want to be, like weight-wise. And that's simple things. Y'all think it's about running around and all this dumb shit. Some of y'all just, you got a microwave problem. Sorry you didn't know that. You've been working out for years, no results. Use the microwave though. And they forgot to tell you that part because they didn't know that part. And there's other little things too. And so y'all didn't start with the simple things, but y'all jump into the old crazy shit. You're trying to lose weight, you jump into the extremes. It's something as simple as stop eating microwave food and know the difference between microwave food. And you go buy a bag of rice, if that shit say you can microwave it on the back of the bag, put it back. You can't microwave real rice. Do you follow? If the food you got can be put in the microwave, it ain't real food, because real food don't got nothing to do with no microwave. Like I said, when I was growing up, if you got a bag of rice from my times, this is before microwave, you wouldn't be able to cook that rice in a microwave no matter what you did. It's not made for the microwave. Y'all bags of rice now are. That lets you know that's different rice. A microwave is a machine. It don't work on regular food, it work on microwave food. You can't fry a cheeseburger in a microwave. You get it? You can't smash your burger, put it in that don't work like that. That burger need to be a microwave burger. Like that. Y'all eat microwave food. Even your bag of rice, your oatmeal, even the old food that you're viewing like, no, this ain't GMO. It is, because you can cook it in a microwave now. You get it? They still have the old grits that you can buy where you can't microwave it. Then they got the 1 minute grits. You can microwave that thing, cook it in 7 minutes, all kind of shit. That's the one y'all buy. You get it? Like that. Now don't go buy the box of rice that say you can only cook this over the stove, this old school ass rice. Y'all look on the back, make sure the rice can be made in the microwave. If I'm not lying, if that's you, and you like, damn, my health ain't up to par and my weight ain't either, start there. You're not getting the right food. A lot of y'all eat vegan products. That's GMO food. Ain't no vegetable burger. Ain't no turkey bacon. Do you follow? To make turkey bacon, you got to do some GMO. To make a plant look like a cheeseburger, you got to do some serious GMO. That part. Y'all lost on fake health and fake diet. But don't see how y'all are large in today times. You get it? From the babies up. Y'all are all distorted in y'all shape. I'm not making fun of nobody. This is real talk. Y'all have to become aware. Everybody's distorted in their shape. It's the food, the microwave food. You get it? Some of y'all bellies is way bigger. Your arms is skinny. Some of y'all fat and your legs is skinny like an M&M. You get it? Some of y'all got skinny ass face, but you fat if you drop the camera. Y'all disproportioned. It's the microwave food. You get it? Meaning y'all not fat. It's a disproportion thing. Young men in today are built like I said, y'all built like my baby mamas when I knocked them up. You know, like when chicks drop that load and they be a little out of shape. You know when the vagina good. I'm old school. You gotta know when the vagina good. Right after they drop that load and they ass still a little flattish. So you're pregnant right now. You're pregnant, that boy get a little fat. That belly take weight. Pop that ass in there out belly. But it start coming back at some point. This is like after they had a baby, maybe a week or two later, you know. And that ass still flat, but it's coming back. You see it. You like, her pants ain't sagging off her ass. Like, because they keep their thing. That's when it's good. It's like ripe. Nice and warm and soggy. And feel like you left a little. I think I left a baby in here. Get that out of there. Young men, they built like that in the daytimes. Like, after your baby mama dropped the load, and she a little sloppy-ish, a little sloppy body. Like that. They titties like hers, belly. They pants be hanging off their ass a little bit. They all knock-kneed. Just giving you the breakdown. No one needs to take offense. I'm just telling the truth. And so in the daytimes, y'all disproportioned in y'all size because y'all eat microwave food and other things that y'all ain't paying attention to. And so overall, if you a rapper of some sort, I can't tell you what you into. I can just only tell you like the situation. Meaning I know all the ancient scholarships and things like that and religions. And so I can only tell you the scenario you in, like. You get it? Meaning if I was talking to Suge right now, I could just tell him like, yo, you know Simon Peters from the Bible, nigga. And so you got that name for a reason. You follow? He will follow like, oh shit, my nigga. So you telling me they manipulated me to follow? Yes. And then they send you to jail, they took death row. That nigga's wherever he's at. And shortly after that, they came out with a movie called In Too Deep. It was supposed to be about a drug dealer, but it was really about you and Tupac. And Omar Epps was Tupac, and you was LL Cool J. LL Cool J had a bald head, looked just like Suge Knight in that movie. Omar Epps, bald head, like Tupac in that movie. Wearing the Versace shirts and shit like Pac. I'll say it again. If you seen In Too Deep with Omar Epps and LL Cool J. So your boy Omar Epps, when he went into character, meaning undercover, that's when the Versace shirts came out. And he cut his hair bald and had the Tupac shit. And LL Cool J had the bald head, light-skinned big nigga like Suge. And they even got the BMW that Pac and Suge got smoked in. If you go look at that movie In Too Deep, LL Cool J and Omar Epps is riding around in that blue BMW. The same one that Pac and Suge got smoked in. And if you've seen that movie, you tell me when I'm lying. There's a part where where LL Cool J and Omar Epps is riding around the city, and he's explaining to him how much the business is worth. And right before they beat up two fiends, meaning they pull over in traffic, hop out and beat up two fiends, they catch the Tupac look. Meaning Omar Epps ride by, you get it? And Omar Epps got the stupid Tupac face and they catch the car just like when they got killed. And then they pull over and beat up the fiends. And this is all reference, Hollywood reference to other Hollywooders that Tupac was working with the government and line Suge up. And I ain't saying Pac is wrong. I mean, if I found out everybody was in life would set me the fuck up. East Coast didn't like Pac. They plotting the whacking. West Coast dudes that he around snooping them, they don't like him either now. Getting all the attention, he fucking all the West Coast bitches, they don't like him. He was cool when he was over there. The East Coast and the West Coast cool. Just Pac and Suge. You get it? Snoop and all these niggas is cool with East Coast and vice versa. They be hanging out and shit when nobody looking. But when everyone's looking, you get it? Now, who's left out? Suge and Pac. Mainly just Pac. Suge still be talking to his ops. You get it? Suge have a whole conversation with Keefy D. Keefy D supposedly smoked him, but you get it? He's still talking to Puffy and shit like that during these times. Pac left out. He got beef with them drug dealers in New York, the rappers in New York, and the rappers in LA. And so he come to find himself in a place where he not safe. And so maybe the government brought a plan to him and said, man, you can get your way out of this like this. So we gonna deify you, nigga. But you got to die, like, not for real. This is Hollywood, my nigga. We can make a movie scene, no problem. But you gonna have to die like in life and never come back. Like, you gonna have to go on about your way. Like that. And from there, rap gonna be a whole religion. Like, it's nothing gonna be bigger than rap. You get it? It's like nothing's bigger than religion. Rap right there, though. Creeping its way up. Meaning if you my age, I don't think if you younger than me, you don't realize, but rap is younger than me. I'm 41. Let's say rap my age. On a real scale, like to the whole public, rap younger than me. The point I'm making is, how is something younger than me damn near neck and neck with religion? How? It ain't even been around that long yet. You got other music genres been around. Like that. They put the sorcery on rap. The riddle. Y'all drunk, intoxicated. They found the sacrifice. Good old Tupac. And they said, man, we gonna make this just like old times with religion. All we need is a Simon Peter, my nigga. That's a big tough motherfucker to like take the fall for everything. You get it? That part. Suge is Simon Peter, or Simon, because of that reason. And Pac is Machiavelli. Machiavelli's just a character that was supposed to be killed, but it ain't clear. And so Pac just supposed to be Jesus in a nutshell. Jesus being that. A character where we not clear if this character actually died or lived on. You get it? According to the Christian, Jesus rose from the dead, presented himself to the disciples, and where he went, no one knows. If you lost, because some of y'all be lost in dodo bird, man. I'm speaking what y'all believe in. I'm not telling y'all my story. You get it? In y'all story, Jesus, it ain't clear if he died. Did he raise from the dead? What the fuck? It ain't clear if Pac died. That part. Afterwards, his man Gaddafi killed. Whatever others was killed. Simon was locked up as he always gets locked up. Meaning the biblical Simon or Suge. That nigga always going to jail. For nothing. They always locking up Simon for nothing. The biblical Simon went to jail for nothing, truly. Real life Suge Knight Simon, why is he in jail again? Every time Suge get locked up, this is what you gotta say. What he did again? First time he kicked somebody. You can get 9 years for kicking niggas? The fuck? Again, you can get 9 years for kicking a nigga? Cause if so, all you niggas supposed to be in jail. Second time he was locked up after that, nobody don't know why. Violated his parole, something, who knows? I don't know. Whatever they made up, I guess again he knocked up though. Now this last time he locked up, so you get my point? What did he do again? Cause in real life, if a nigga pull up and you run up and start decking him, if you get ran over, that's on you. Meaning even if the nigga pulled out a gun and smoked you, he beat in that case. If he happened to pull off and run you over, you got lucky if anything. Meaning your death was on you. Truly, you can't really say like, who's not pulling off? You get my point? It don't matter how you cut it. You say he did it on purpose. Who ain't gonna pull off? You say why he pulled off this way? Who ain't gonna pull off? That part. What are you in jail again for? Nothing. Always nothing. Just like Simon Peter. He was locked up, but what he did? That part. Who knows? He was Jesus' buddy, that's why. That ain't no crime. I can be a nigga friend, it's a crime. You ain't even a nigga friend, you set him up, but like that. Simon always going to jail. That's what his character for. Meaning everybody in the story of Jesus, from the 12 disciples to Mary and Jesus, was all lined up by the Jewish people. They picked that family, you get it? to have the Christ. And this boy gonna be killed before the world. So they know, like, our religion and our race of people is the people that God come from. You get it? And the 12 disciples, which is Jesus's brothers, they all, because of their envy already, they lead him around to the whole world and go along with the plan. His mama Mary, she knew since before she had him what she was having this boy for. She tried to run and escape with him, but that ain't work. And so you get it? They all lined him up before he was born, meaning before there was even a thought of a genius, a Jesus. The story was fashioned by the Jewish elders. We need to pick a woman to have a baby. We need to make this baby God-like and make him popular. Then we need to slaughter him, and he's going to be the sacrifice for the Jewish people. And he's going to be viewed as God to the world and coming from the Jewish people. And they want their acceptance from Caesar, because Caesar guarded them, like I read to y'all in the scriptures. And so do you follow? At some point, this boy's raised up believing all of this stuff, and at some point he comes to realize, hold on, they are setting me up. So now he's fleeing to the wilderness. He's going here and there, but the people keep following him. The multitude, I'm not sure if that was clear, but like I said, he keeps trying to escape them. And the people keep seeking him out, the multitude, meaning he couldn't get away from them. And so, this is why it's not clear if Jesus died or not. Now, you got to remember, in them times, ain't no TV, so nobody truly know what Jesus looked like or his disciples. They know they seen him before, but shit, is that him right there? That's why they needed Judas to point him out. Because they say, we know who Jesus is, but we can't for sure say, like, who he is if we see him. And so, if you grasp that, then you grasp Jesus could have slid away, and they wouldn't have known. He could have switched himself with somebody else. Yeah, I have to take another restroom break. Shalom, shalom. Y'all can get back if you like. Okay, let's end this thing. And so, in a nutshell, you can look at it like this. This is the more than likely scenario of what happened. Pac was manipulated by Suge. Suge was connected to, high-ranking officials. We speaking like the government and Hollywood owners, which is like the government. And they know this wisdom, meaning they know the truth about the Jesus story and how religions work. And so you get it? They convinced Suge to be like Simon, to Tupac, who was going to be the Jesus. You gotta remember, Interscope and Suge had their dealings before Suge went and got Pac out of jail. So there was discussions on what was going to be done with Tupac before they actually went and got him. I'm saying more than likely Suge Knight in the government, Interscope, which is the same, they made this plan. Of course, the plan got to do with rap being a religion. Why is that important? Because if rap is a religion, then it ain't going to be no business bigger than rap. Do you follow? And so, more than likely, Suge working with the government or Interscope, they lined Pac up, manipulating him. Suge being Simon the whole time. If you're familiar with the religion, Simon is the one that lined up Jesus. You get it? But the sad part about it, he got locked up still and killed. Simon Peter, meaning after setting up Jesus, he still got what he got, but he didn't know that was going to be his end. If you lost, I'm going to read the biblical verse one more time. So you be clear that Simon set up Jesus and still got what he got. John chapter 18, I'm going to read verse 12 through 18. This is when they captured Jesus. It says, in verse 12, then the band and the captain and officers of the Jews took Jesus and bound him and led him away to Annas first, for he was the father-in-law to Caiaphas, which was the high priest that same year. Now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews that it was expedient that one man should die for the people. Meaning the plan was already orchestrated, like I said, before Jesus was born. Somebody got to die for the people, man. We got to be a real nation of people, and we need our shit to be religion. And the only way religion works is if you got to sacrifice. So you get it? This is why it say, now Caiaphas was he which gave counsel to the Jews on that matter over all this time. And he's telling them it's expedient that, he got to die. Expedient meaning like this is not right, but it have to be like, you get it? It's like we need somebody to do this. He ain't right for it, but it's expedient, so bring him, let him die. You get it? Like that. Now, John chapter 18, verse 15 I'm at now. It says, and Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple. Simon Peter was there when they captured Jesus. He cut off one of the guards' ears. And so now we're saying after they captured Jesus and they taken him away, Simon Peter and another disciple followed them. And Simon Peter followed Jesus, and so did another disciple. That disciple was known unto the high priest, and went in with Jesus into the palace of the high priest. But Peter stood at the door without. Then went out that other disciple, which was known unto the high priest, and spoke unto her that kept the door, and brought in Peter. Meaning the other disciple went inside, did what he did, came back out, told Shorty by the door, let my man in. Talking about Peter. The other disciple went inside the palace when they took Jesus in, but Peter had to kick back at the door. Then the other disciple came back out and told Shorty, let him in. That's what I just read. I'll read it one more time. But Peter stood at the door without. Then went out that other disciple which was known unto the high priest, and spake unto her that kept the door, and brought Peter in. So they capture Jesus, bring him to the palace. Peter and another disciple follows them. When they get to the palace, weird shit happens. The disciple walks in like he cool. Then he come back out, tell Shorty blocking the door, let my man in, he good. You follow? So you knowing right there, okay, this is a clear-cut setup. Because why would they let the disciples come into the palace? That part. They been lined him up. All of them. Simon Peter being like Suge, the big homie of the disciples. Nobody fucking play with Simon Peter. I'm saying it that way so y'all can fully grasp. Nobody fucks with Simon. When they pulled up to capture Jesus, he cut off somebody very important ear. You follow? Like that. Nothing happened to Simon Peter. How you cut a nigga ear off, but nobody touch you? They just go along with capturing Jesus, ear hanging off, in pain, but you don't get touched. How is that possible? They take him away, you follow behind him. Nobody don't say, get lost, motherfucker, why is you following us? They just let you follow. Then when y'all get there, your partner that y'all following him with, he walk in. And come back out and get you like, come on in, big baby. And tell the shorty at the door, let my man in. So that's what I just read. Now, verse 17, after the disciple comes out and tells shorty to let Peter in. Then saith the damsel that kept the door unto Peter, art not thou also one of this man's disciples? Peter said no, and walked in. In real life terms, the lady said, man, don't you fuck with that dude, Jesus? And Peter said, bitch, get out of my way. You heard what he said. Let me in. Because that's how that go in real life. This is a dire matter. Nigga just got his ear cut off. They drag blood away. Niggas is... It's a real matter. And shorty stopped Peter at the door like, nigga, we don't know you. We know this unknown disciple, but who you? So now the disciple got to go talk to the high priest to come back and tell the damsel, yo, let him in. Again, the disciple ain't tell Peter to kick back. Peter. He wouldn't tell him that. The damsel don't know, so she tell Peter, you can't go in. That part. If it wasn't about Peter coming in, the blood would have never came back out and got him. That part. It was all about Peter. I'm going to show you how right now. Verse 17. Then saith the damsel that kept the door unto Peter, art not thou also one of this man's disciples? Peter said no. And the servants and the officers stood there, who had made a coal of fires, for it was cold, and they warmed themselves. And Peter stood with them and warmed himself. That part. How the niggas that captured your man drag him into the palace, and then you go to the palace and you go kick back with the niggas that captured him by the fire cause it's cold. And you talking about, what's up, big baby? It's chilly out here. What y'all got going on? And capture good old Jesus, huh? And you his man, though. If niggas capture your brother or your right-hand man right now, and you follow them to where they captured him, you gonna go inside the place and then kick back with the niggas that captured them and just be like chilling by the fire? That part. They wouldn't let you do that. Let us read. The high priest then asked Jesus of his disciples and of his doctrine. I'm going to skip down to 24. Now Annas had sent him bound unto Caiaphas the high priest. They're speaking of Jesus. And Simon Peter stood and warmed himself with the people that captured Jesus. And Simon Peter stood and warmed himself. They said therefore unto him, art not thou also one of his disciples? He denied it and said, I am not. Meaning the dudes that captured Jesus, they warming themselves by the fire. Peter comes in. He go stand by them like he know these niggas and warm himself. They all asking, don't you fuck with him? He said no. Be clear. They just took Jesus. Peter was in the garden with Jesus. Chop one of their ear off. They walk away with Jesus. Peter followed them. They get to the place they going. Now they all magically retarded. Ain't you with that? That part. Nobody don't play with Peter. Simon Peter. Again, they all know who he is, but they refuse to accuse him. They're tap dancing around it like how people be talking to Suge Knight. They want to accuse him of having something to do with Pac getting killed, but nobody never fully full-blown on said it. They'll tap dance around it. Why? I ain't even fucking with Suge like that. Simon Peter's like Suge back in the day. You watch your mouth. And so all these high priests and cousins of the high priest in the palace scared to death of this nigga. Asking him, did you do it? Like they don't know that he fucked with Jesus. But you get it? He lined him up. Peter's important. Now we're going to go down to 26, meaning John 18, verse 26. It says, one of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off. So this is the guy whose ear Peter cut off when they were subduing Jesus. And this guy is a kin to the high priest. Nobody more important than the high priest. And this dude is his direct relative. Worse than that, Peter cut his ear off when they was capturing Jesus. And look what this man say to Peter. It say, one of the servants of the high priest, being his kinsman, whose ear Peter cut off, saith, did not I see thee in the garden with him? He just cut your ear off. Now you magically don't know what he looked like no more. You get it? Again, he just cut off your ear. He's standing with you and you're like, didn't I see you in the garden? I guess everybody in that palace got amnesia. Or either Peter is a cold-blooded motherfucker where you better watch your accusations. Even if you is the high priest. Again, that's the high priest kin. And even he can't directly accuse Peter. He ain't got no ear, blood. You can't think a nigga who ear you cut off care anything about you. That part. He cut his ear off, blood want to kill him so bad. But he can't do nothing but play dumb and say, wasn't you in the garden? Yeah, you know who that was. Peter looked at him and denied again. And immediately the cock crew. Jesus told Peter, this is Simon. You gonna betray me or deny me 3 times before the rooster crow. And then it happened. Like that. But Jesus already knowing they all lined him up. They don't get it. I read that so y'all could see. Simon set Jesus up. They all did. If you understand the story accurately, Suge Knight is Simon. The high priest, the Roman Empire, they like in the scope. The government, the music business. Remember, Suge got the cops, all kind of shit he tied into. Suge is in the music business. He not a rapper. So it's in his good interest that rap become a religion. Just like the high-ranking Interscope owners and shit like that too. And so, if Pac gotta die, Pac gotta die. We bailed him out for that. You get it? Suge and them went and got Pac for this. Gonna bail him out. We're gonna make money off this nigga. He gonna die for the cause. He don't know, but that's alright. You gotta remember, Suge cool with the east side. Make sure it's hard for that nigga over there, so he got to come over here and pray to God, my nigga. You gotta come over here and pray to Big Simon, nigga. And I'm gonna help him. And he gonna be indebted to me. And then this nigga gonna die. And death row gonna be the biggest shit, my nigga. Death row gonna be a religion. As you've heard Suge and Pac say in the past, you believe in Jesus, right, nigga? You better believe in Death Row East. Like that. This been strategized. And so Pac was just manipulated. He a young 25-year-old hyped up, he don't get how things work. Like that. And so more than likely, Pac really got smoked out and killed and sacrificed for the purpose that you see now. For rap to be bigger than life. And Pac is the god of rap. But he ain't here no more. And we all know the story of what happened to Simon Peter in the Bible. That part. A lot of blood up. We all know what happened to Big Suge, aka Simon. Locked him up. If you young and you lost, Suge Knight is known as Simon to Tupac and other death row members. In regards to the public, he's Suge. In regards to those that's close to him, you call him Simon. That part. That's for a reason. Like I said, Simon set Jesus up. He was in with the Romans. After Jesus died, Simon was the head disciple. He was the leader over the disciples. Of course, they all eventually got whacked off. But do you get my point? The religion was born, and it's still around now. And rap been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and ain't nothing bigger than rap that you could think of in modern day. Nothing comes close. What come closer to rap? We ain't even talking about the music at this point. We just talking hip hop itself. Watching rappers talk, whatever they say, y'all take it as religion. That part. They controlled by high-ranking government officials and record execs. And religion is running smoothly. You get my point? It's like I said in the past, Jesus wasn't the only one that was killed. That man, hella people was crucified. He just the one that stuck. Same with Pac. A bunch of people died. Eazy-E. Tied in the shoe. We all tied in the shoe, big baby. You better know. And so you get it? They just looking for one to catch. Pac caught, but he still ain't make it religion. Well, he did. Meaning they set him up with all the prophecies and everything. Like, you get my point? When y'all listen to Pac, it's almost like y'all say, like, man, this nigga already knew. You get it? It's like he already knew what was going to happen. So if you got a mind to think, well, damn, it seemed like he already knew. Like I said, sacrifice so that rap can become religion. If he knew and he was in on it with Suge, and you know your high-ranking government officials, well, they did an excellent job at making rap religion. And Tupac is the god of it. And y'all are waiting for him to return like Jesus. And Suge is in jail like Simon Peter was. Meaning the Romans used Simon Peter and Jesus' whole family. All of them got killed after. Even Mary. Mary being his sister and his wife. You get my point? Meaning if you know the shit right, Mary had sex with her daddy. And that Jesus was her sister. Jesus was her brother. And her son. That's why they call her what they do. Like Mary Magdalene. Mary known different ways by whoever talking about her. So when you read in the Bible, it look like it's a bunch of different Marys. Say, damn, Mary had a sister named Mary. And you had Mary from over here. Mary was a harlot. She get around. Everybody know her different. Some people know her as Jesus' sister, and others know him as his mother. It's a strange matter, but done for a specific reason. Again, Mary is impregnated by her own father. That would make Jesus' father. Jesus and Mary got the same father. But she his mama too. Do you follow? He got other siblings that she had with other men. Joseph being the one that she's with at the time. And so everybody know her different. And so Mary Magdalene and Jesus' mother Mary is the same person. When Jesus is killed and put into the tomb, it says Mary was there with him. A tomb is where you put a dead body. Whoever's in a tomb is dead. That part. Meaning Mary got killed and all the disciples got killed with Jesus. Why? They the only ones know the truth. Get rid of her. We went to Mary from beginning to tell her what she was going to do. Get rid of her. In all of them. They know what happened. Now it's a real secret and nobody knows. Do you follow? If you went on the plan what we do and that's your peoples, you might decide one day to be like, nah, man, it's all fake, man. They came to me when I was a young girl and told me to do this. And had this boy and all this weird shit. And I tried to run away, but I couldn't. They found me. So whack off. We ain't got to worry about that. It's perfect. From there it catch traction. And y'all believe in Jesus and all of that. But be clear, this is more recent than y'all know. See, you had the Greeks in the past. Then the Romans took over where the Greeks left off. This is Julius Caesar time, Roman time. Then after that, you got the Byzantine times. This is your Eastern Roman Republic or powers. And when the Western Republic or the Western Roman powers start to fall, the Eastern Roman powers is now the powers of the world. But this is still your a Roman colony. And one of the kings of Byzantine is Tiberius, son of Heraclius, Heraclius. Tiberius was born as King David. His royal name, Tiberius. Let me see if I can Google it so y'all can see. King David, son of Heraclius.
According to Wikipedia, David, son of Heraclius, David, Greek, Dao, Florowitz 630 to 641, was one of three co-emperors of Byzantium for a few months in late 641, or until early 642, and had the regnal name Tiberius. David was the son of Emperor Heraclius and his wife and niece Empress Martina.
Again, if you a Jew, you believe in your Julius Caesar or your Julius Caesars. If Caesars is your lines of kings, under the Julie, basically your Jews. That's what Jew come from. Julie Caesars. Julius Caesar is a Julie Caesar. This is a whole family tree of rulers going from Greek times to Roman times to Byzantine times to Ottoman times. Ottoman times is your 1400s, like around the time when America and Africa was getting colonized. You follow? King David is before that time. Meaning King David is before, King David is the Byzantine times. This is before the Ottoman times, which is your 1400 times. The Jesus thing would have happened around the 1400 times when this person got killed and this whole trick on the world was played. That would have happened during the 1400s before America and Africa was, colonized like you see today. Meaning that all just happened. A 15-something King James Bible. You get it? Y'all think this happened in AD times with Jesus. It just happened. They ain't never heard of Christianity or none of this shit before that. That plan was advised during the Ottoman times, after King David's time, meaning after the Byzantine times. Do y'all follow what I'm saying? I'm explaining to y'all how in the Bible y'all know of a King David. In real life you have a King David. He was one of 3 kings of Byzantine. Byzantine is an Eastern Roman colony. You get it? Like that. Your Roman Republic in general got to do with your Julius Caesars or your Jews. Jew being a word that got to do with Julius Caesars. Your Julian Claudio family tree. You get it? Caesar's a word for ruler. And so this is all simple. If you grasp real history, meaning y'all don't know who King David is from the Bible, in real life history. In real life history, I do. Meaning it all follow a time period. And so like I said, if you want to know the real breakdown and go through all the encyclopedias and things, get a one-on-one. Because every biblical character is a real person in history. Everything will make perfect sense to you if you know it that way, knowing the real history. And so King David got to do with Romans. And Jesus got to do with what I said, and he around the Ottoman times. This is your 1400s. The beginnings of the colonizing of America times. And so the stories y'all hear of Jesus, this would have happened during those times. The Ottoman times. We in the Turkish times now. Meaning your Greeks became your Rome. Rome became Byzantine. Byzantine became your Ottomans. And your Ottomans became your Turkish. And that's where we at now. And y'all worship white people if you a Jew. Now Big Usia has to go. Salam shalom. If any of you guys want feathers, visit the website. Different kinds, different handles, different ornaments. They're blessed by yours truly, Wazoo Seer. Let y'all get a crispy, clear look at the feather. It's perfect. It's cleaned and blessed by Wazoo Seer. You can smell the blessing on it. Sure can. If you lost and you say, it ain't real. Everything in life is real, champ. I'm the wisest man alive. The most honorablest person alive. If I give you something, it's good. If a bad man give you a thing, like that, you can play with yourself on it. Again, if somebody in an ugly spirit give you something and you think that shit won't carry bad luck for you and you like, I'm about to throw this shit away, I got this from that low life so and so, man, and I've been having a bad fucking luck. You've heard people say that. And so again, if somebody good and just give you a thing, you knowing they know alchemy, meaning I know the mixing and merging of substances, I know nature. If I say I'm giving you a blessed feather, it's blessed. You may be a fucked up person, so you got all fucked up people around you. You won't have them around you. Maybe your blessing is that. The feather will get them away from you. Meaning if you too fucked up in the wrong vibration and on the wrong side of things, a good blessing may just be knocking you out of the vibration you in. You may not view that as good if you like hanging around bad people, but do you get my point? It served its purpose. Like that. If you somebody that's already on a good flow, so the blessing will go a long way for you. And so like I said, the feathers are blessed, washed. Or you buy the wise one. With the intention put into it. You get my point? And so it's a special feather. If you want one, visit the website. If you're a channel member, you can email me if you want one for free. Assalam shalom. Wazusil.